Hi, this is the Sociology YouTube channel. I'm trying to do the worker's mind section on by Alan Chan. And this is the real worker versus fake worker. Kind of the real simple fabrication job instead of the real engineering job even there yet. So the real simple fabrication job is step by step is cutting first, bending second, drilling third, welding third, polishing fifth, painting sixth, and assembling seventh. The last step before shipping. I need to ship in the resource to build it first before shipping back the product. And fake engineering university without any job after their own graduate at least even once. Uh, is one of them is too many Lincoln without any proof of the most simple working experience even th- uh, there at all times. Too many YouTuber talks about the software engineering jobs without them even seems to know that it will most likely will take them almost 20 years of their own real coding experience in the end to build the real server security software application levels in the end. It just usually takes around almost 20 years, usually from the London University, or only one university left in Ontario left so far that I figured out. And there's one hidden one in USA that's private university that still survived from the real computer engineering side. And it's not easy at all. And the real software engineering will usually earn around 80,000 Canadian dollar per project, such as the trading card lists um, in stock in software in your shoppings, like list of card that you have inside store software, like customized software that you download on your own computer as much computers you want to without any server client inside at all. It's just like somehow logged in without the server account and it's like start listing how many you sold and how many you um received the card before selling. Something like those trading card game like soft list of stocks in software inside your own customized software. It's one of that costs around 80,000 Canadian dollar. It does not cost like a few $1,000 like a game or something. It's like literally 80,000 Canadian dollar because real corporation software aren't cheap unless you're cheating from somewhere else. And the real software engineering will usually earn around 200,000 Canadian per online server project, so per indie game, not like massive online games. So like I'll be online, the real server programmer that only one of them the one project of Ompi Online game, it should cost around 200,000 Canadian dollar per worker, like the online game. And Ompi Online is around few millions of um like US dollar or something, or a bit more than a few million like US dollar in German in industry or something. That the German side are a bit better, same as London than USA's university or the Canadian side, but USA is good at investing business money on side because the business practicing on investing, not like much on school or something because the government society in USA not that perfect as London or anywhere else anywhere straighter Fortune countries with straighter university that at least learn harder stuff, like more into wheel engineering side and wheel scientist side. Yeah. Uh, each of the single software developer will have the responsibility to create around the few to several project in each year around the same timing as well. I think it's around each few years, not like each year. But so far they can earn around 600,000 Canadian dollar within a few years only. Like depends how many project you can do. Yeah, it's not for corporation yet. It's just small companies, like small corporations, more like the more legal business, registered business side on the business bank side, like registered business bank account side. They have to have like a few $1 million, $1 million lease or something to afford that many like online project in the game or something that legally register like tax stuff through Steam accounts and stuff like those, which is a lot of people in Steam games they're not registered on properly on business banks tax side or something with the real accounting person. And it's supposed to hire the business bank insurance. No, it's supposed to pay the business bank insurance or an insurance broker, insurance business broker. Instead, it's just to get the real business lawyer, not supposed to get a private business lawyer that can be cheating on you guys from the small lawyer side that they could be lying on you, even through commercial on TV and stuff like those. Because that's how unofficial is like government looks like these days. Even to have commercial with spams and stuff. Even on YouTube, commer ads and stuff like those. Some of them are cheating on money and stuff like those. Because how North American government not really taking that responsibility sometimes. That those ads can be spammers already, like official ads even. But those aren't cheap to afford the real lawyer from the insurance broker and stuff like those, or bank insurance, business insurance if you register for it. They have to be really rich income and really rich deposit just to afford a small corporation that works properly in Canada. Plus the real estate that costs millions or $500,000 in Canada that aren't cheap to rent a real location or use a relocation or buy relocation and stuff like those. So that's why real estate engineers can make $500,000 of Canadian dollar around a few years, plus they can afford the real house and be good educated that with real education like from London or one of the university left that survived in Ontario, but it's not easy. It takes like around 20 years of university almost, because that's how North American or London learning curve seems like on the learning on the up to server side. It takes around 20 years. It's not that insane easy to learn the real software engineering, plus security backend stuff, which I already seen it. It looks like some kind of multiple and stacks of small paragraph of backend codes everywhere, not just few lines per coding like task or something. It's like bunch of small paragraph of coding everywhere. This to code the real backend security side before making a server or any website hosting or and even on interface with Java code, you need to know backend side or because in case you secretly hidden some hidden buttons or something like cheating side they can detect by itself with backend. That's how insane YouTubers fake software engineering jobs already. Um, it's not easy with backend side. Like I'm not the robot check-in button. It cannot block with some of the image around it. Even the check-in, like I'm not the robot before logging into our password and username. Something that like, looks like those, just really back-end codes. You can't even put a bare image too close to the check-in logins. Like I'm not the robot stuff. Like back-end coding stuff. And there's such thing as the Amazon Web Service certification. That's for more advanced coder for maybe selling stuff online with customized Amazon Web Services selling stuff that you can customize on their Amazon coding side with the real professional coding certification that after you graduate in the real computer engineering university that aren't easy still. Like those certification, like no one heard in YouTube video because they're all fake almost. Only it's just hard as heck. That's the only way to be real almost. It's not easy in the university stuff. It's like North American, tons of them that are not. It's too easy. That's not real in there. And the real engineering force would never be soft. The real engineering force would never be like the soft-minded person because all of the real engineering force will be dangerous like all of the real airplane jet engine will never ever be the safest and the easiest to be made of. If it's too easy to make the airplane jet engine, you just explode immediately, assuming like you're not even flying even. Like that's the real engineering stuff is not easy. It's not like easy and weak people can do this often. And like all the real engineering skills are not ever been born to be that dumb and to be that soft person. Like the real engineering skills was never have been born in the nature like from those older farmers and from those older chef um person, and like chef and farmers are just cooking and farming tasks, nothing to do with science. Computer engineering is still like about to understand the concept of scientist. It's just like math scientists more towards that, like data AI to detect which software is marketing is better or something like those. Like a dating application with online client server. Looking like if you log in, see who love who or something, then you see the different that's unusual how like stuff than the selling marketing product like from Nike like sports shoes and you can just buy it online and maybe ship it to your house or something. The marketing like behavior side, AI, mathematics, another way of calculating behavior scientifically, like not like X and Y axis on data collection, maybe something else like that that can collect the behavior or something, AI or something. I'm not sure what it looks like, but I think I've actually seen it once. I forgot what's the book called, but it's really really insane hard book. But I had to look it through my picture in my cell phone instead of my laptop recording myself. Is like it might take me a few more minutes max to find this book. Uh, it's called Oh, I found it. Machine Learning Action by Peter Renton. And the publisher, it seems like it's called Manning. Yeah, with the pioneer person on the front page. So it's called Machine Learning in Action, Harrington, Peter Harrington. That textbook have a bit of real machine learning. It's not like deeper learning stuff of coding. It's supposed to be behavior, how your learning behavior connects with the computer behavior instead. Like the AI, like specifically on marketing stuff, behaviors. Uh, the re-engineering will sound harder and will sound more dangerous. Like the wheel engineering will need the some wheel ear plug in the end. So like because it's something hard, not soft. And then like creating something out of scratch, like mud to like something like really objective stuff like France of Tower or CN Tower. Like those are really solid objects. Like you have to like constantly mining steel and like burning stuff and welding and stuff like those. Like grinding stuff and like stuff like those. Like really loud noise on steel. It's not this soft stuff like farming on soil or like kind of like chef even like that quiet. It's like drilling is really loud on ground and stuff like those. It's just banging louder than cooking chef with fire sound or something. Like that's just natural scientist. Okay, the wheel engineering will always smell toxic because it is never ever simply easily been made by the nature. It just smells toxic. It's just not soil or anything. It's like that's how rare is the real engineering. It's not like ancient times any longer. That I just build stuff with bricks and hay and maybe wool or something or logs. Like the real engineering, you will need to block the real dangerous smell in the air. It's just toxic chemical and stuff like those. Because that's how hard is the steel looks like. It's no longer like farming culture ancient times is already up to like NASA scientists already or something like those are not that easy to create any longer. Like it's just not like soil ancient culture farming times any longer, so it might smell toxic already. And the wheel engineering will never be that soft works in the end. Like I meant like really rough sanding stuff that sparkles everywhere. That I need the harder glass safety glasses. You need the harder working gloves. Like you don't want to use your bare hand to like work on steel. Else your skin get rough and like you just need more soft like soften your hand a little bit by like using the hand cream or something or feet rough skin cream or something on your legs and feet. Like it tastes like blistered and stuff like those. So that's how insane hard the work. Like harder and rougher work, not like soft works in the end. Like it's those are natural engineering scientists. It's not soft as farming any longer. It's like even harder than bricks. Like sparkles and like sanding everywhere. That's what it looks like and trash everywhere. Like that much sparkles everywhere that terrain becomes like dirt everywhere. It's just not like farming times any longer. The real engineering will never be that soft works in the end again. So you need the harder work pants and you need the harder working socks for your own steel boots in the end. Steel tip toe boots or something. Steel toe boots. So everything will look harder. Work pants like you need the rougher cloth in the end. And you need the rougher socks, like cushioning with a better cushioning in the end. that are softer for your own feet in case working long time and have blisters and stuff like those, and you want the fireproof pants in case you're working with sparkles everywhere. That's how hard and rough it looks like. Not just welding sparkles, you're grounding sparkles already. So that's like the real life how steel works in construction and real engineering works even. It's just not like your university just studying basic math that's not even scientifically, mathematically even looks like in chemistry, scientists, or scientifically mathematic with engineering, like engineering side even. Even computer engineering is just by playing by programming. It's not really scientists yet. It's just playing a bit more towards to behavior mathematics scientists only. It's just like they divide the pixel to make lose the pixel detail, and after it times it by detail of the pixels, then you make it more contract, um, construct pixel, and then after you ray trace it, like the fake line of your first image of taking a picture of the camera or video camera, then you make it seems like the kind of the fake way of like detail pixels that more resolution, and but that's is not really truly from the video camera at the first place. It got replaced it by ray tracing it. That's what the Apple screen looks like. It can overburn a graphic card if the graphic card is not that good at first place. If we keep on doing that graphics pixels everywhere by divided by times and ray tracing in the third step. That's what the Apple computer screen looks like. The just more resolution looks like. But you're just playing with basic, kind of like not basic. It's just scientifically, mathematically, and with your own screen with codes only. It's just same thing as graphic card with Nvidia or something like those. Yeah, just playing around with marketing and cheaper price and getting higher resolution stuff like those. Stuff like those. They're kind of faking it, but it's just not the per engineering side in manga. But it's okay. But it's just software with cheating with math codes just to get resolution higher. Stuff like those in the screen. But same as Nvidia graphic card kind of does it, but it looks a bit different. I'm just not that deep end back end hardware stuff yet, but I can tell it's mostly math. That's what they said it in the open conference back then. Like the new Nvidia is cheaper, higher quality on hardware, but more into software and mathematics coding that runs faster on graphics on gaming Nvidia graphic card, but it's just I'm not that back in hardware side yet. But I can tell the screen and Apple computers just playing with times and no divide first and times it and ray tracing or something like those. Just playing codes, basic codes only, scientifically, not the not like basic math like plus which object on for loop or something. Not those are basic math, not scientific math. It's how a big hint what the real scientist does. And the real engineering works will always be bigger than you. You will need the real boots, steel boots, before working with the real large engineering skills. So, yeah, it is heavy object everywhere. Just because real engineering to be productive and usefully, you will always need the engineering product to be bigger than you because you're using the object when it moves pretty fast, like a jet or airplane always need to be bigger than you to be useful, or elevator, escalator always need to be bigger than you with the wheel engine and stuff, or electronics movement stuff or something that you always have to be bigger than you to be useful because it moves at least. And that's why it makes it dangerous if you get clammed in inside the escalator or something like those. So that's why engineers never be safe and have to be heavy, have to be big to be useful because it moves is fast and it have to be big for yourself to be useful. Unless you talk about computer engineering, but I'm mostly talking about mechanical engineering only, with a bit electronic side. I'm not talking about coding software most likely what I'm trying to do. So the wheel engineering workplace could be large enough that you will need to eat lunch at somewhere else instead. Well, it's mostly toward the construction side that you need to bring a lunch bag to be more comfortably transporting around. Because the wheel engineering location and creating the wheel like the airplane side is big enough factory that you have to walk around like insane long just to go across the factory and just eat lunch and stuff like those. So you have to bring your own lunch bag and stuff because you won't really like travel that good anywhere or something. Same as the oil pipe from the conserve part of Canada. Like you have to like stay inside like the working location like almost every single day until night and stuff like those. Like you have to bring a water bottle and stuff and drinks, thermos and stuff like those, and like all lunch bag and stuff is to carry around. Especially building on St. Francis Parish Tower, you have to like literally not climb all the way down to eat lunch. You have to stay up on the tower the whole day long. It's not managed our time to go climb back down. That insane good time management for the day or something. Like I just don't get who they are. Used to be back then. The Paris Tower, like how they insane eat lunch up the tower. Just that I'm not that good yet, but I just rather forget about engineering. Just rather worry about my other cheaper side of useful, productive jobs that's real and not like faking it. Trying to earn the real living for my housing and stuff like that, especially costs a lot in Canada. The wheel engineering fabrication workers will only need to know the wheel math only and not the wheel science even yet. So it's mostly like fabrication or construction worker, or not really construction. Fabrication is a bit smaller and construction work is big enough that you have to measure by something else. But steps, not just measuring tape or level meter or meter tape or level measure or just yeah just most about measurements. You have to try to measure it. Don't just pretend to be mech engineer. Just there's nothing. Just pretend like in YouTube video like you know software engineering. We never did try it then. Like it's just all about measuring it. Just for small fabrication usually. But construction is measured by differently because it's just a bit complex. Especially in streets, turning street with high speed, you have to measure by feeling on how to turn while speed. Like you have to test it out how you drive it by feeling the curve when you're turning. You don't just like do 90 degrees turning like highway or something like. You have to test the curve on turning away the highway to the back to a normal street or something. Like you have to measure those feeling type of motional stuff of driving streets even. You have to measure it. That's what the Autodesk kind of does, the newer software, all about construction, architectural, engineering stuff like those. The Autodesk, the new Autodesk is mostly teaching you and making you do some feeling of mathematics, not just scientifically only. That is insane that I don't know how to use Autodesk on construction or architectural engineering even. But this is just basically small fabrication of workers just learn how to measure it properly and how to stack them perfectly without losing around. I think it was five or three, no, around 4 millimeter on four of them. If it's off, then that'd be a bit slowly a bit risking. But if it's 5 or 7, it's totally off. If it's totally missed by 1 centimeter, like in the hole or something to screw the driver, for a big construction like a sewer pipe or something that size of two times bigger than a car that costs 70 or 80 thousand dollar Canadian dollar, more than a car or something. This one sewer pipe pieces only one of the pieces costs two times more than a car. Then it should be not off by once half a centimeter too much or something. It's half a centimeter or too much, or because you can't fit um a hole, a pipe, a hole. I mean, not the pipe hole. I meant the screwdriver hole. Then it'd be a big like had to restart everything, had to refine it, which she risked the shipping fee of that heavy weight and stuff like those, and he just off like just screwed everything, construction timing up and stuff like those. That's why I had to measure pretty precise, not to get even half a centimeter or over off or something around there. But 3 millimeters okay, but 4 or 5 millimeter is getting a bit too risky already. Because one screwdriver hole just ruined the whole project and timing or something. I had to bring someone else to help out or something. Yeah, just not convenient, especially placing that big pipe in the wheel location in the land, and that's just like not dangerous to like bring one person and just trying to like sew it back in or just like stitch it back in, just inconvenience, especially that big weight lifting everywhere around and just one person had to go that dangerous area and they put about to put that big pipe on the ground or something. This is like this, yeah, just like it's just like shouldn't that person should be on the worker shouldn't be under the ground while just to fix that little thing or something. That would just screw up the timing. And it's like that's not safe to go underground just to fix that little thing or something. It's inconvenience. Just to fix that little thing like this. Like yeah. And step one, before I start is cutting. And then the chop saw or the band saw to cut the metal tools without any too many cutting teeth on it. Don't use the teeth saw too much because it just break the teeth off the saw and just like can't and it'd be dangerous like this teeth flying everywhere because it's supposed to be like skimming through it so fast to cut the metal tubes in there. Don't cut the metal bar because it's maybe too thick unless you have some kind of really expensive tools, which you shouldn't spend the money just to create a small project. It's supposed to create this for wheel construction workers. If we have that big machine just to cut the two, I mean not to cut the, you need the very big machine to cut the bar, steel bar, not the tube. The tube have holes or something that it can easier to cut. It's just thin. It's just equal to thinner layer or something. Uh, yeah, just don't use the teeth too much, or else just break the teeth and just ruin the whole machine and stuff. And just unless you place the blade or something, but yeah, but it just doesn't worth the teeth that much even because it's just steel. Okay, it's not hardwood. Bending is you will only need the bending machine for the larger metal tube or for the larger metal plate part. Only like the too small stuff. Don't put on bending it. It's just you don't need that detail stuff in there. And just cut the tube part and just put it into bending angle, right bang angle like 90 degrees or something. Not do like bend every single thing for a small project. Is I don't found any those, so therefore like I just can't found any machine that can bend like any tubes or bar that even bigger machine, but he's I can't copyright from taking a picture of my working place or the shopping mall to avoid the copyright issue from taking image from the online website in my YouTube channel because of commercial use and stuff like those. It has to be commercial use. Content you cannot just copyright in YouTube channel, so it's just 100% not copyright and commercial. and it's commercial use because it's almost image. And the wheel, this image just shows like how does the bending works from initial to final physics, like stamp from the middle always in center, because that's how you curve it in properly in and out until you curve it right. Uh, and drilling is the third step. Um, drill press with the different drill hole sizes in the end. Well, this is a small drill hole, just a small layer. Don't use it for a thick layer of metal that over like half an inch or 1 inch even. Like it just this storage is simple, okay? It's just not just create a small part and just for sale. Don't with metal. Don't use this as a construction worker or a big sewer pipe even. It's not possible even. Just create a small part of this for sale. Be that good at brainstorming some creative physics on like maybe pencil sharpener or something that small only. Like is or maybe can opener if you can manage to figure out how to do something creative work. But this is only make this small. It's not that giant expensive tool that can any close for sewer pipe or construction workers even. And step four, holding tool for welding. Yeah, step four is supposed to be welding, but you need something else before welding. Detailing. So toolbox is one of them for the vice grip, and vice grip is to grips the metal layer pieces to the working table and stuff like those. Step four is still welding and cleaning tool for you need to ground the dirt stuff or rust stuff before welding. You have to be clean welding, also create bubbles or rainbow colors. Stain stuff that is bad for welding, not strong enough. You have to connect the steel as strong as you can. This is one of the rounder thing. And this is cleaning tool for welding. Again, sand this and stone this. It just depends how dirty is it or how rusty is it. How to clean it off. How hard is it? How fast is it? Or sand this can be for polishing afterwards, but yeah, that. I think that is step six. Yeah, polishing is step six with sandits, but you can clean dirt and rust as well. But it's better to use stone disc on bigger projects. But for small project, you don't really need to clean stuff for welding unless you have to purchase that big heavy metal. I think the dirtier the metal is, the rustier metal is cheaper it is. But it does not matter for a sewer pipe or something. Better to save money. Yeah, it's to save money by purchasing those dirtier metals sometimes. Here's how acid production outside this world looks like. That it's better to. I think the oil pipe from conservative had to be clean metal since it's had to be oil pipe or something. It's not just like dirty sewer pipe or something. Yeah. So this is the welding part. Always use the flex core metal wires. I think this is true that you have to use flex core metal. Don't use the MIG wires because flex core metal wires is much cheaper than the MIG wires. That steel. I think the MIG wires are usually looks like browns, but the flex core metal is looks like silver or something, or just plain metal steel. But the MIG wire is more like harder and better stainless steel, I think. But it costs a bit more. But you're gonna use this steel of wires like a string, like pretty out fast. You're just gonna waste a lot of money. Unless you have to be perfectly that good MIG wire stuff, they have to spend a lot of money just for good quality. But it doesn't sometimes always worth it unless you just like to use it as a rich class welder or something. Yeah, but he's gonna use the string of wire really fast. To be honest, like just use flex core metal is much better. And using the high electricity and the high gas power for the wheel welding instead would be better. But this working package is not high enough for the wheel construction workers yet. So yeah, this don't purchase from markets like this stuff. purposely just to correct any construction worker or unless it's just homemade, some kind of only house usage product. This, yeah, a small product for sale, something like sharpener or maybe something like tape, like scissors. I don't know. That's useful or something on sale, but I can't think of anything that good for sale. Anything that beats the market or something. Or maybe a furnace is okay, but yeah, but I need to know some science before building a furnace. But I don't think so. I'm gonna do this any longer. Polishing. Sorry, step five, not step six from the sanding disc. So this is sanding sheet, not sanding disc. You're sanding the steel to polishing the steel to look nicer before shipping to the your own clients on product or the something else. And step six, painting. The spray painting will look like the more dry dot painting like everywhere. It is spray painting is more like air painting that dries faster. So it might be looks like ends up painting dot everywhere instead. So the painting is the sixth step, like just polishing it first, then you just paint it afterwards on top of it to make sure it's cleaner sometimes even. And the paint roller will looks like need to be more wetter to spread out the wet paint a bit more to paint everything at once instead. So it had to be wet paint to be spreadable with the paint roller. That's like the simple scientist that I figured out. Is this not a scientist? This is just way too big scientist, not even engineering. Because to be a real engineering, it had to be way simply complex and simply that over powerful and strong-minded just to make the simple mind as that useful from like dirt or something or soil or something. That's the real Russian mathematics scientists like physicists and stuff like those. The only Soviet Union can do this that easily or something. It's no longer that easily, so spray paint is basic air painting, so it can dry faster instead of painting in dot or something, like scatter everywhere, like mist of dots, like dry dots instead. That's just basic scientist, not even called engineering yet. Scientifically, and the paint roller will spread the wet paint faster or something, and this paint on top of it instead. And assembling is step number seven. It's the last step. Just need the strongest fault wedge screwdriver to hold the bigger metal in place, the bolt in place or something. The screwdriver bolt. And you need sometimes to use the other wedge screwdriver to hold back of the bolt to screw the other things in the properly area place as well. Like just hold the back of the ball sometimes and you just use the machine screwdriver and just screw it in or something. Like you have to hold it back also to make sure it's tight enough. Don't make sure it slides or something. It's not a wood construction worker, it's metal construction worker. How to be screwed tight as you can. Yeah, it's not about arm force, your hand arm energy force. It's about the electronic fault. So that's why it's always hard, not soft, to be with engineering that don't use soft, weak minds to use engineering stuff. Especially it's not even called engineering really yet. Even it's fabrication only. Even more harder to do engineering. The re-engineering skills without any of the other people fake engineering working skills. Well, this is my examples of the kind of re-engineering skills. It's just not useful. It's just you're just playing with rocks and gravities and like puzzles of like chess or something. Like it's just cards like strategy of kind of physics that is not useful as the real engineering people that just can blow out power and just control the kind of like this stirring um changing gear of friction of like slowing stuff down with the horsepower and like comfortably with some kind of accelerating faster with the car engine, like way faster or sudden, like changing gear to feel comfortable with driving. Like those friction is not well, so far your friction math equation in physics is all fake, okay? You don't just scrub things. The real friction math is the car engine friction, that changing gear and stuff, yeah, and the engine and stuff like those. Those are real Russian physics that I'm not sure how to work. It's just stirring with like kind of like the wheel of like stick figure or something that changed the friction like all of a sudden. I'm not sure what kind of science is this, but I just can't see the difference. It says we ordinary can't tell the difference and can't see the difference almost unless you're that insane smart that you're just moving part of it like crazy in car engines and stuff like those. And this is part of my examples that I don't have the mental health illness. Like only I realized how many mental health drugs in USA have produced it, such as overdose that never works, and those doctors who just purposely will trying to overdose your overdose drugs. I think the hospital overdose is OPIODS. Those mental health drugs are faking it in USA. I don't know why they're legalizing like for NRA guns for sale in the first place in the government's USA government. Like who is saying okay, like yeah, the USA government will legalize already legalized the NRA gun for sale without any license, but unless they believe that the police patrolling will help control the guns when it's not true in the first place when you see on news everywhere. So it's supposed to banning the NRA guns for sale, uh, especially without any license even, gun licensing and stuff like those at first place. Like it just they purposely does something like those bad stuff or like to like legalizing the not legalizing this make the overdose fix the mental health and it's not even true. The overdose spelled like OPIODS. Like that overdose does not ever work. It's just some kind of drug experiment everywhere. Meanwhile, all of their doctor school is basically not smart enough. My real doctor is from Toronto, but is smart enough that he's speaking like the traditional Cantonese that Hong Kong does not does anymore. So that's how insane hard the real scientist looks like with the real doctor outdated formula that no one knows any longer. Because how outdated the doctor chemistry formula looks like. Like for example, the sugar loss is used to be called sugar loss. Now they call it lactose or something. Sugar lactose or something. But it used to call sugar loss. Even longer, the real name is called like lactasium or something. Lactose. I don't know what I should call it. Like yeah, it is called something else. I'm not very rest on nursing, but it's just some like older chemistry stuff that your nutrition is not mostly not really real chemistry that much any longer. Uh, that's why Chinese doctors never was wrong that the organic stuff is always safer. Those Chinese herbs or something is in the oh well this USA overdose drugs maybe probably that's the only thing. That's the only country have fake drugs making everywhere. And the wheels, yeah, I just don't know why they legalized NR against guns for sale and stuff like those. And one of my example for wheel science is speed plus weight. Speed means movement plus weight, it means tight movement. If it's always add weight to the movement, it will be always tight movement. And there are other wheel science that we figure out. but it does not work as a wheel machine there. That's why it had to be Soviet Union people engineering at first place. That we North America is under production, unlike the Justin Trudeau still doesn't know it. He just used to be a drama teacher only in real life. I don't mean to be rude, but he's a drama teacher, but he's just a drama teacher in real life a long time ago. He doesn't know much finance even. That we're such a bankrupt country already without any production. We just a lot of spammers on production already. That's like this. They never know the real school production already. That's how long they never did anything. Correct is how to like lift stuff from the center, not lift stuff everywhere around the area. The better. It's like a jet engine. How do you focus on cylinder, the center? Like, don't list stuff like every four angles of square or angle even or something. Just think of triangle pyramid as the best structure shape that can stack on top, like the Paris building. They have a lot of triangle frames around. And the wheel bullet feels like it might feel like stabbing a punch because the bullet, because that's how intense the stab looks like that sounds like punching already. That's is actually like more like a bullet. The bending you can start bending from the middle, and then start going in and out until in and out until you bend it correctly, or bend it from center, starting from center or middle, and in and out from the end, and go back to the center or something. That'll get the right curve in there. Don't curve from all the way to the side of the edge. It's more like centralism of some kind of bending stuff. And the wider the wheels, the more stable it is, like the wider of the wheels, or thicker the wheel or something. Like the more wide and thick, get more support from balancing from left and right or something. Yeah, on heavy weight or something. And there's such thing as flick, cut and flick at the same time, like good chef, or even better chef, like you may use cutting board sword. You know what I mean? Cutting board knife, like really fast paced, but it had to be very strong muscular, like stuff to like cut food fluently with double board knife or something. Uh, yeah, for a chef, but it had to be really strong muscles. Again, is the wheel in it is not soft and weak-minded like on production. Like you have to be fast-minded. I had to use like stronger muscles and stuff like those. That's why I had to be guys on military and like the real military man. Like not just like reserve Canadian reserve back then. Now they call themselves the Canadian Force when they can't go through the forest or something by running there or something. That's how insane people get lost in World War II already. Because they don't know what they're doing back then. The thin spring can twist. The spring, metal spring, like the pen spring inside your pen can have spring to go in and out the pen or that pencil maybe, but just the thinner spring you can just twist it around, just break it and damage it, kind of like it. The hard spring, like the car uh, bouncing spring, it cannot really be really twisted, but it can be a bounce only. The wheel signs, uh, like the exchange runtime runs longer because it never ends, or maybe it ends longer after finish exchanging runtime. But collection runtime runs shorter. It means you just collect everything, like the average. Like if you like, for example, five objects, slowly collect more and more and more, then stuff will run out or something because they collect to themselves or something. And the nuclear bullet effect, if it's spreading apart, it may be more effective and more annoying in a real video game than a single nuclear missile, like one single nuclear missile that exploded really crazy up high in one specific spot. This is for a game mechanic or something. Video game mechanic. This looks. It's not really real science. But how it looks like. This is my real engineering side. It's just simple. It's not like after university to be jobless in North America after mechanical engineering or software engineering, computer engineering, or a lot of engineering stuff that they did nothing. And his professor didn't know anything because that's them not just pretending already in North American. And the wheel signs like winter tire, like snow versus crush. It's not crushing winter tire. It's more like sticking or strike in the snow winter tire that makes it doesn't really slip like a pizza ruler, pizza cutting ruler or something. That's what it looks like. And the wheels, my last one is the wheel science by Alan Chan. That's all my stuff that I made up that should be true is you have to slide in and block the coin from sliding in too much that like suddenly bounce off the across the hole, edge hole or something. They have to like literally block this and stop before drop in the coin, like the basic physics. Like just slide in and block it and stop it and drop in the coin donation box or something. And that's my last one of my wheel scientists simply not engineering yet. And you guys can, the engineering is more like flipping machines everywhere, like flaps of steels everywhere, or friction of like insane, like don't know what kind of friction mathematics scientist is. It's not like your friction of versus force or gravity or something that's made up in your North American mathematics physics. They're not even scientists known yet, so even just pretending to be no science from all different Albert Einstein timing, like you guys are clear outdated and bankrupt and stuff like country and stuff like those. Like keep on using reserve money or something like those. Like just real university scientists are not easy. And this is my last point, and this is the work of mines. And thank you.